Hey beautiful people, welcome to the channel. It's good to see you guys again. If this is your first time on the channel, to be part of this beautiful family, don't forget to click on the subscribe button down here. It's actually red, free and convenient. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for sticking with me to this point. You guys are the real deal. Thank you. On today's tutorial, we are going to be learning how to make a fitted gown. It's going to be a midi gown that has a basque waistline and also a ruffled sleeve. If this is something you like to watch, then definitely want to stick to the end of this video to enjoy it. To enjoy it. Yeah, to enjoy it. So let's get right into it.
I grew up in a place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way. Got up.
This tutorial will be divided into three. The first one will be the pattern drafting for the body of the outfit, while the part 2 will be for the sleeve, and then part 3 will be the full sewing tutorial of the outfit. Let's start with the part 1. The material we're going to be needing for this pattern drafting is shown, as you can see. The first step is to rule from our shoulder to breast point line, which is 10.5 inches. Then from shoulder to under bust, which is 13.5. Then from shoulder to half length, and then plus 5 inches for the back waistline. After ruling the lines, we are going to be extending the lines horizontally as shown. And then we are going to be labeling each of the lines. For the back line, you can decide to make your 6 inches. It is dependent on how long you want it to be, but for mine, I use just 5 inches. That is from your half length, you add additional 5 inches. Now we are going to be measuring our shoulder line. My shoulder line was 8.5 inches. Then I'm going to be marking the neck point. That's the neckline, which is 3.5 inches in width and 3.5 inches in depth. That's for the front neckline. After doing that, we are going to be connecting the width and the depth together. After connecting it, we are going to be making a curve from one point to the other. Now we are going to be coming down from the shoulder point by ½ inch. Then we are going to be connecting from the neckline down to the 1 inch point for the shoulder slant. To get your armhole measurement, you can divide your bust by 4 minus ½ inch to get the length of your armhole. Or from your breast point, you can go up by 2 inches to get the armhole length. After doing that, you are going to be extending the lines both vertically and horizontally as shown. The next point will be for us to come out by 1 inch diagonally, and then we are going to be making a slanty curve that's as shown, just like an L shape. Then from that vertical shoulder point, you are going to be marking the half point of the armhole. Then the next step would be to measure our bust span measurement. To get your bust span measurement, you measure from one nipple to another. Mine is 3.5 inches. I'm marking it 3.5 inches from the upper part down to the lower part as shown. After doing that, the next point would be to connect the lines vertically together. Now we are going to be connecting from the midpoint of the armhole down to the bust span. I'm using a free hand to go first before blending in the line properly. Make sure to blend the line properly so it will align. Then from the half point, in order for us not to fall short of any fabric, we are going to be coming out by 1 inch from the mid armhole point. Then we are going to be inserting our bust measurement on the breast point. So in order to insert the measurement, you are going to be dividing our bust measurement by 4, then we'll be adding plus the half inch that we took away from the bust span, then plus 2 inches allowance. Then we are going to be inserting our under bust measurement divided by 4 plus the half inch for the joining allowance for the bust span, then plus 2 inches allowance. Then we are going to be inserting our waist measurement divided by 4 plus 2.5 inches. Then we're going to be connecting the lines vertically. Then we're going to be coming down from the half length by 1 inch. Then from that 1 inch point, you're going to be connecting it to the edge of the basque line. The weather is actually fluctuating, it's changing, so guys, please bear with me. Make sure to blend it in properly as shown. After doing that and cutting it out, this is how it's looking like. Now we're going to be using the front part to trace out the back part of the outfit. In order for us to get the back part, we are going to be placing the pattern of the front on the back. We are going to be pinning it down on another fresh pattern paper. Make sure to use your pin to secure it as shown. Remember that the back part of the outfit is going to be needing a zipper allowance, but at this point I didn't add it. I'm going to be adding it later on. After pinning it down properly, I'm going to be using my marker to trace it out like this. We are not going to be tracing this extra inch that was added at the mid armhole because this is the back part. So we are going to be tracing down to the edge of the basque, but we are not going to be adding the longer part of the basque. We are still going to be tracing out the front neckline on the back, but that's not how the neckline is going to be because you're going to be bringing down the back neckline closer. But before then, we're going to be cutting out the back part of the outfit. I meant the back part of the pattern paper. I'm trying to trace it out with a pen because my marker stopped working so that you guys can see it properly. Don't forget that on the front part, that boss band will serve as the dart. So for the back, don't forget to add your dart measurement. So I'm going to be coming in by 4" for the dart for the back part of the pattern. But before cutting it out, I'm going to be placing the side of the front part to see if it matches. As you can see guys, it matches properly. Now it's time for us to cut the back pattern. Make sure to use your pin to secure it down so it doesn't shift. Now I'm going to be cutting out the back pattern as shown. The back pattern is going to be 2, but because of lack of enough pattern, I only made 1. But when I'm cutting it on the fabric, it has to be 2. Now I'm joining the zipper allowance. I'm attaching an extra pattern paper. After measuring 1.5" and sticking it down on it, I then had to cut out the neck part. Now 1.5" is added to the back pattern for the zipper allowance. From the neckline, I'm going to be coming down by 8" for the back neckline. Then I'm going to be connecting it as shown. After connecting it, I'm going to be cutting it out. Now for the lower part of the outfit, that's for the skirt part, I'm going to be measuring the full length of the skirt pattern. The full length I took is about 42" plus 2" for folding allowance, that's 44". Then I'm going to be measuring from the waistline to the hip point, which is 9". Then I'm cross-checking from the waist point to the full length to see. Now I'm going to be inserting my waist measurement, waist divided by 4. But before then, I'm going to be marking the 1.5" for the zipper part because this is the back skirt pattern. After marking the 1.5", we're going to be using our ruler to connect the lines vertically. I'm labeling it as the back skirt pattern. Now I'm going to be inserting my horizontal waist measurement. Waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that plus 2 inch sewing allowance. Now I'm going to be coming down from the vertical waist down to the hip. Then I'm going to be connecting the lines horizontally. Then I labeled it as hip line. Now I'm going to be inserting my hip measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches allowance. Then I'm going to be connecting from the hip line down to the upper waistline. Don't forget that on the hemline, we're going to be going in by 1.5 inch in order to make it have that pencil effect. Then we're going to be connecting from the waistline to the hip line. If you can use your free hand to do it, you can do it. But if you have a pattern paper or a curve, you can use your curve. But I'm going to be using my ruler to connect it. Then I'm going to blend it in using my free hand. Now I'm going to be marking my dart point using my bust band measurement. So I'm marking 4 inches at this point. After marking the dart, we're going to be cutting it out. But before then, I'm going to be marking where I want my zipper for the back to stop. I took about 9 inches from the waist point. After marking the 9 inches, I also mark the point where I want the overlap for the back of the skirt to start from and where I want it to end. I took about 10 inches from that point that I marked. Then I connected the lines. After doing that, I had to cut it out and then I folded the zipper part into the back of the pattern paper. Then I used the back to trace out the front pattern. Don't forget to pin down your back pattern on the front pattern paper. After pinning it down, then we are going to be cutting using the back to cut out the front pattern paper as shown. After using the front to cut out the back, don't forget that the front pattern will be cut on a fold and it will be one piece, while the back will be cut two pieces. After doing that, don't forget to label it front and back, and don't forget to add a tag on foot. That will be all.
You know you enjoyed this tutorial and you loved every process, Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like it and leave your thoughts, ideas, and suggestions down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching to this point. I'll see you on the next video. And also, don't forget to follow me on social media at Instagram at Selling Jerry's, Facebook, TikTok at Selling Jerry's. Until my next video, bye guys. Mwah.